Welcome, everybody, to One Returning at Home with me, Paul Finlay. Today, I've already started off on a wee simple project before this one, which was making two wee trees. I'm going to start off with this second piece of log. Now, I'm not sure. I was given a lot of larch and a couple of orbits of tree, but I can't remember what's what. Because I brought it home, cut these in half, and sealed them. And I think it's still a wee bit wet. I think it's been sitting outside under covers for about 8 months, maybe 10 months. So I don't know how dry it is, but we're just going to turn it anyway and make a wee bowl out of it, and might do something else to it. Uh, so make sure this is tight because it's only in between centers, and I'm going to make a tenon in this end. So get your tool rest set at the right height. Uh, get that. Uh, because it's in between centers, I would be very cautious of the speed. Turn the speed down just to see how it's turning. Okay. And again, safety in mind, get your face shield on. Again, you don't want to get hit up the face with anything, especially this piece of wood if it came off. Make sure it's tight. You've locked all the tool rest and your tailstock down, and everything's nice and tight, nothing moving. We're just going to use the bowl gouge here. Let's see how this. I just dropped a pair into the shavings here. Just go and get them because a wee while ago I lost a pair, and I think they fell down and I didn't get round to picking them up, and I must have shoveled them up in the shavings. Clear it out. More, look at this, I think it is a piece of oak. Okay, so we'll still need to go a wee bit deeper to get a good tenon in this. That bit of waste wood will have to come away here. It's not good enough for a tenon, so just increase the speed a wee bit. It's sitting at 800 RPM. So we'll stop that. Oh, you look at it, that looks nice. Well, take that out between sanders and we'll get it mounted into the chuck. Right, we'll want to stop that now and move our tool rest in a bit. Again, you don't want to overhang the tool rest too much. So that's coming round nicely. Yeah, I think it is oak. Not bad. We'll start the lathe back up again. Always stand back from the lathe when you first start it up in case there's any wee loose bits of bark that want to fly off, because that's the time it'll do it, or less probably hit you. You never want to use a tannin, the bark or any part of the bark. You want to go into the actual wood. Let's see that. Right. You may see I done a stupid thing there, and I would try to find the size of that where that was turning. Should always stop the lathe. Okay, that's almost the size I want that. So we want to continue on with rounding this over. I'll probably not take all of this away. Probably leave that in the I mean taking it away. So get rid of this bit a bit and tidy this more to a circle here and tidy that up. We look at that. Still a wee bit there. Right. And again, overhanging too much here, we need to move the tool rest round. That tool rest is far too big to get in that wee space without taking the tool rest or the tailstock away, so a smaller tool rest. Let's see. Right. I'll do a wee bit of sand into it, just to. Right. We'll put a wee taste of sand sealer on it anyway. I'm not really going to finish it totally. Just more or less a wee demo piece. See what this is like. As I say, there's a few cracks in it, so I'm not really overly fussed about doing too much to it. Just make it presentable. Right, that was just a wee taste of sand sealer on that. That looks alright. Cut this wee knob down a wee bit so that I can get it in the chuck. Turn the speed down a wee bit and back the tool rest or the tailstock off. Right, that up. I just want to reinsert the tailstock to position your hole for when you turn it around to take the foot off. So that's that established. So we can turn this back around and just lock that down. You want to keep your tailstock for as long as you can, holding the piece, because it lets you work away at the piece without the fear of it coming off. With that being a bit of oak, it's quite hard, that timber, and you're relying on the jaws and gripping it, and it might be still a wee bit wet. It doesn't feel wet, you know, but there may be a wee bit of moisture in it still. So the last thing you want to do is have it come off. So what I usually do, keep a tailstock in place, take a wee bit away from the outside of it, and then as you progress to the center, you can remove the tailstock, take it down a wee bit, and then when you don't no longer need it, just take it away. So you can see there's a crack running here. crack running here. There's a knot there. So it's not a great bit of timber, but it's good for demoing on. And so we're going to get the speed up a bit. Not cracking that. That'll be a nice bit of timber. Ready? We'll start hollowing this out then. We'll have a look at this to see, because we have this here. So we'll use leave that size of a rim on it. Don't want to take it any further, because we'll be down way down to here somewhere. I think I put a bark on it. Looks nice. So I like to bring it down in steps, so you have somewhere to anchor your gouge when you go back to take the next cut up. Like so. Nope. Right. Just try to take too much off it there and got a wee bit of a catch. Right, I'm being hampered by the angle now because of the tool rest, so I'm going to take it away and hopefully it'll stay on the lathe. You're taking your support away from the front of it, so hopefully it'll be alright. Okay, so we'll take this wee nub off first. It's a bit high, to bring that down the side. Just pick your cut up. We'll have a look at that. Yeah, it's just eating a wee bit more into that. A few loose bits. Just take them off. Plenty about that, but I think it just adds to the character of the bowl, you know. So I want to face the front of this up a wee bit. Right, you want to check the depth of this. You don't want to end up going too far. So get a wee depth gauge and how we look. And I get a wee drink. That's better. So you can see, bring that down a wee bit and see a better angle. So with a wee bit yet to go on that, it's down about an inch into the bottom of that. We still have about a good half inch yet. So I want to start off from here down and into the bowl. So we'll stop it again and have a check on our depth. A branch has been coming through. Now I've got a wee bit more of that timber out here. It does feel a wee bit damp. So we'll give it a wee sand. Keep in mind you have a void there to catch your finger on. Right, we'll give the inside of that a wee coat of sand sealer. Uh, Once you put the finish on it, it pops out at you. The colours, especially a nice piece of oak like that there. And then, what do you call it? Depending on how this dries, I'm going to leave it sitting with a foot on it. And if the cracks will really open up, I'll maybe fill them a wee taste of milliput, because that's a nice wee bowl. So that's it, just with sanding sealer on it, and didn't do too much. What do you call it? To it. So we'll see what that's like tomorrow. I'll leave that sitting overnight and come out tomorrow and I'll have a look at that and see if that cracks opened anymore. Uh, may fill that with milliput, because it comes in a variety of colours, and some terracotta there, which would go nicely into those wee voids, those wee hole cracks. So I'll set it up there and I'll raise the camera up a bit. So you can see nice flowing curve to it. We've got that inclusion into it, and just a nice wee bowl. It is oak, by the way. I wasn't sure at the start, but it is. It's oak. Usually, if you're turning wet oak, you'll know right away because your tools will go black and your bed bars will go black. The tannin in the wood, you know. So I've left the tannin on that, and I can re-put that in. See, there's a crack there. So that might open up, and there's a wee bit here. I'll change cameras because I'm wandering about there and I can't see. Right, what I was saying, there's a wee crack here, just about the size of a fingernail. And then we'll have this one here, you can see on the camera. That wee bit of an occlusion, just left that, because to turn that away would turn most of the weight away. So we've crack in the rim here, and that wee inclusion in there where the bark is, I think it was a branch by the looks of it. We could fill those with just a milliput. As I say, colour for that would be terracotta, because it's similar to the wood. It's not very dark, that oak, maybe white oak. So that's all from me. I'm not going to go on and ramble on about that stuff. I've been told I talk too much. Well, if you don't talk, how are you meant to tell anybody anything that's going on? You have to give them some information, But I know it's hard to turn a hand talk and keep your concentration on what you're doing. But right, guys, it's been a day from a turn this wee bowl here. It has moved a wee bit. The cracks haven't got any worse, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm just going to take the foot off it and get a final finish, and that'll be that one done and dusted. Oh, I need to move that out of the way. Just a bit of router mat with a blank in behind it, turned sort of half round for it to fit into the inside of bowls. It's handy to keep a piece like that to have, and free remounting your bowls to take the foot off. Okay, so just slow the speed down a wee bit. Sitting at 1300 RPMs. Just want to take gentle cuts with this. And I can't see much in that camera, so we'll change over to the overhead. That's a bit better. Just using a 1/4 inch spindle gouge. And just one final cut to clean that end up. Just riding the bevel, let the gouge go at its own pace. All I'm doing is putting a wee bit of pressure on the tool, and that should have cleaned that up a bit better. It's not bad, it's not great either. So I want to take some more of this away. Just giving that a wee shear scrape on the bottom wing of the gouge here. Try and blend that all in. Now, the more you can take off it before it comes off the lathe, the better. And then you can just sand the rest away with a sanding disc mounted into the chuck. So I'll use the thin parting tool and just part this almost stitch through, and then we'll sand the rest of it up. Chuck, we'll just put our Jacob's chuck into that. And just bring my sanding stuff over. This is a handy way to do it, you know, it's I'm throwing the tools all over the place. Right, I'll set that down there. Move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. And we'll take a piece of that's it now. I think the plug wasn't just fully in. And that'll do that. We're not gonna worry too much about it. I think it's gonna move anyway, so I don't wanna overdo it. Let me just a sanding sealer on the bottom of this. Just put a wee bit of crystalline wax on this. Just get a wee polish. I was asked a question the other day. I was up in the woodshed getting some supplies, and there was a customer, and he asked me, what is it like to use the hard wax oil? I have a ton of it there. Chestnuts, hard wax oil. The thing about oils, they're okay if you want to leave it for 24 hours to dry, and then you have to knock it back and give it another coat or a couple of coats. So that's the only drawback. There's nothing wrong with it. I like to finish things as I make them, and I have to wait for 24 hours or overnight even to finish them is a bit of a pain in the neck, you know. So I tend to use the finish as I can finish there and then. So you can see that's brought that up, not bad. And just a wee bit of white oak, I think that is. There are a few wee inclusions, there's a couple of cracks in it, nothing major. It has moved a wee bit. There's a crack here and some wee inclusions there and a crack there, and you have the natural bark inclusion on the outside here. So that's that finished. So I just wanted to finish that off this morning before I do anything else, and and then I include that in the video. So that's that done. We simple bowl, not a lot to it. Made from, I think it's white oak, by the looks of it. Oak is very hard, and the thing about oak is it's wet at all, it'll turn your tools black. So be aware of that on your bed lays. You'll need to clean them up after finishing your turning, or you'll come out the next day and they'll be all black with the shavings. The tannin on the wood makes things go black. So that's that wee project finished. So we'll get another one started soon, and we'll get that up onto YouTube. So that's that finished, guys. Thanks very much for watching.